So in this position, I'm using the balls to act like if my hand was there like we just did the lesson. So I have her where she's not worried about her balance, where she's going, even just taking someone and pushing them or however touching them in a way that you want them to go forward. Some people just either won't go or they're still startled or for whatever reason. So I'm taking the same lesson now. I'm going to be applying it from behind. So I'm seeing where the vertebrae is here. The reason I'm most concerned in this spot with the upper thorax is I'm looking for that direct line, like if it was a pool shot. However,
So that's the edge of the shoulder blade? Is that?
No, I'm actually here on the vertebrae. The top fingers are around the top of the scapula, shoulder blade, and here just for extra guidance. But I'm looking to feel how the force of her arm goes through here, but I'm also going to be bringing in through the lower back. So it's just a nice touch. Now she's already done the lesson on the floor, so she's going to react a tad differently. And notice how I'm using her tonus. It's nice here, but then I'm bringing her back. And as I bring her back, so do my fingers let go. They're still touching her, but they release in my tension or the push through here. So now that I think that she's working or moving quite nicely, you know, again, which I suspected because she just did a lesson on the floor, but still, now I'm going to go more here with both of my thumbs. And what I'm looking to do is just go into the vertebrae. So this is where I kind of always refer to my little microsurgery. I'm just there, right there. I just got the arm.
So you're on the vertebrae,
so
not beside it?
I'm right beside it. I'm not.
Okay.
I never work on the profiles,
Right, that's
but
what I
I'm right
thought.
on the side. Sorry.
When you said that, I just was.
But see,
Mm-hmm.
now I have her. So now the rotation for me is much clearer. You can even see her head's moving, her tush, everything just went spot on. But right here, I can still feel that tension going around this rib cage up into the sternum. So I back off a little bit and I try and locate it more here. So I'm going along the rib. The rib always goes down and around versus straight across. So you've got that little bit. So now I'm going more so on the rib. And I'm waiting for, there we go. So now I can go back here. See now again, there's more rotation in the shoulder and the chest cavity. I can go back to the original move now. And now too, even her tension's released more in her arm, so if I go forward a little bit, now the arm starts to bend versus keeping that arm straight. So now I'm going to try and come back a little bit. And this is where it's quite nice. You have a lot of tissue right underneath the shoulder blade. You don't want to go into a tickle, right underneath the armpit. You don't want to do a tickle or anything like that. Now I'm still going back to the vertebrae, but now what I'm looking to do is, let's say the back is straight, right? Even though it's not, it sways. I'm looking for that sway to increase. So when all of this mechanics come around, the back is actually giving way, or the spine. So I'm just, most of my pull is coming up right through underneath the armpit, and I'm just suggesting that the back sways more. Right there. Right there, I mean, notice it moves here more, and here less. Just that ½ inch difference is a bit less than here. See that there's more movement? Does that make sense? So right here, so I'm going to hang out with here for just a little bit, but what here I'm going to go forward now instead of backwards. If I can't go someone to go backwards, then I try forward, and then I come back and see. There we go, if that made any difference. And now again, she's got a little bit more tension. See now here it's clear, but here not as clear. So same thing. Now go forward. and then back again. There we go. Notice too, the elbow wants to stay at the same place. I'm going to pull with a bit more tension. The extension on the arm. See how the arm wants to stay there out with the balls? That's a really clear sign. If someone has more tension, then the arm itself will want to come back. But I'm looking for the tonus change in the arm. So if I bring her back, see the arm just elongates, and then I can pull the back. Does that make sense? Now right there, the trochanter's flagging over. This is a really nice lesson too if someone's just had hip surgery or something where the mechanics of the pelvis are interrupting the flow of how the chest is rotating. And again, this is the balance point that I bring out.
That's me.
Well, your rotation's different too because your curvature of your lower leg.
Mm-hmm.
Did you break it?
Mm-hmm. See how it's...
So now notice how through the lower rib cage, I can just really nicely bring her out. And that's what it's nice with the balls, the friction of the ball, there they go. Now the balls are just rolling. Her whole arm is just rolling over on the balls and rolling back. Notice too, I can let her fall. This is all her. The rotation now, the chest cavity. And all I'm doing here is the same thing. I always refer back, it's like putting an edge on a pie. You're not on the profiles, you're right into that little divot, and I'm more so with the thumbs, and I'm just like I'm patting a crust edge. And that's how you do it, and then you can go continue, I can do a whole hip thing. She's like jelly right now, but,
Can I ask you, like with my husband, his like neck gets in the way of this. So do you ever, for him, the other night I went in like here and here,
right,
and finally got it.
What I like to do with the neck is just like I was holding the arm in the lesson, just like here, I go into the neck, right? Like this.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can take this 15 different ways. I can come here from the lower chest and see how I'm just, I can come back here. I'm lifting all the way the neck and rotate. The lift is what's nice because what I'm doing is I'm saying, I'm going to hold your neck better than you can do it. So when I go back down, now, and then I sort of I'm still there, but I've let go. Mm-hmm. I'm letting her saying, oh, I don't have to hold my neck anymore. So I lift up, I lift the whole thing. When I have the thumb here, I can actually twist through the profiles, the side of the neck, and then come back down. And there we go. Now all the neck muscles just go, yeah, whatever, lady. And let that go. You can do the same thing up here, into the top, C1. And this one I'm actually pushing up and down. But when I go down, I hold the head. When I push up, I kind of squeeze them together and allowing that whole neck function to happen and be free here on the top where the skull meets C1. So now you can see the difference, how the neck has changed all that.
I don't know if I can get my hand up there.
That's another problem.
So is there no value then from the top of the shoulder down with the shoulder blade?
In this position, because what I'm trying to do is show how by having the arm secure and not worried about where the arm is placed. Mm-hmm. So if you wanted to do something like this, then you can go right above the rotary cuff, mm-hmm. and start, mm-hmm. let it fall. See? She doesn't like to let it fall, so I'm going to come in here and go up a little bit. But when
So
I
are
go
you
up,
talking to
I'm,
the rotary cuff now?
I'm rotating it here, like opening a jar. So when I go up, under the scapula, let's see, and then see, now let it fall. And see, that's easier said than done. She obviously doesn't like to let it fall. So now I've got to find a way of allowing it to happen. So now I'm going to grab the whole rotary cuff and take a ride so this you can see the base of the scapula through my hands. There you go. Same thing, I can do it this way, let it fall. Just like we did in the lesson, and let it fall. Push up through.